Hi, welcome back to Glow Up with Shelly. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do this really beautiful neutral brown gold eyeshadow look with the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Palette. This is turning out to be one of my favorite palettes, and I want to show you this look and how to achieve it. So when I come back, I'm going to have a little bit more of a blank canvas, and we're going to go in and do the eyeshadow look together, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along. So let's get started. Remember, this channel is all about glowing up, transformative skincare, flawless makeup, and a lifestyle to match. If that resonates with you, hit subscribe and don't forget to ring the notification bell. I want you to know when I post future videos. Hi, I'm back, and I have a pretty blank canvas. I've done some of my underpainting, and with my contour and my blush, I haven't set the look with powder yet. I also have on my eyeshadow primer, and it looks a little like it's gotten a little kind of patchy. That happens if I don't immediately put eyeshadow on when I first put eyeshadow primer on. So I've got my primer on, and I've got my Urban Decay Primer Potion, and we are going to do a very beautiful neutral look with the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Palette. I just love this palette. It has some gorgeous colors in it. And the colors that we're going to be using today are this kind of peachy color. It's like a warm, almost like a skin color. It's like a camel color is what I would call it. It's gorgeous. And then we're going to be using these two shades of brown and this gold. So I think this look will be really pretty. We are probably going to start with this on the base of the eye. So let's go ahead and apply that really quickly. So I'm using a flat fluffy brush, and this is one of my Firma brushes, and I'm just going to put this right on the crease of my eye, and I'm just going to kind of go over most of my eye just to kind of smooth out that primer, because it does, like I said, when I put it on, if I don't immediately put on eyeshadow, it gets a little splotchy. So we want to just kind of, let me get a fluffier brush, and this is one of my MOTD brushes. And it's just a nice big fluffy brush with nothing on it, and I'm just gonna kind of sweep that along where that color is and kind of get it in there. And then I'm going to go back in with that light color. It's kind of a yellow, kind of peachy color, and I'm just gonna tap off any excess, and I'm gonna go back in on that, in that crease, and I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Just kind of getting it like on the eyelid and up into the brow bone. And this color is so light. Again, I'm going in with that fluffy brush, the MOTD fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna kind of sweep that along the whole eye, because I want to kind of blend that color into my brow bone, right underneath my eyelash, or my eyebrows. Okay, now we're gonna go in with a little bit of a darker color. So we're gonna go in with that camel color right there. And we're gonna use that same brush that we used for the lighter color. And this is gonna be our transition shade. And this is gonna go right into that center crease. I have hooded eyes, so this eyeshadow look that I'm doing is both hooded and non-hooded eye friendly. We're going to go in on the other side. I'm just going to pack that transition color on there really nicely. And I'm going to go into the corner as well and kind of sweep some of that color into the corner and build it up, because this is the transition shade for the little bit darker brown that we have. And so it's going to blend really nicely once we pack a lot of color on there. So now that I've packed that color kind of along the crease of my eye and at the corner of my eye, I'm going to be really clear using a very kind of medium size eyeshadow brush, fluffy brush. I'm just kind of sweeping it till it gets this nice dark. And then I'm going to go in with my fluffy brush with no shadow on it. And this is super important because at this point, what we're trying to do is blend. And do you see how that just blends those harsh lines out so nicely? And that's all we're doing, is really blending those harsh lines out. And we're gonna pack a little bit more color on with that original Firma brush. And this is still the camel, the transition color. And then we are taking that fluffy brush with no product on it and running it just back over, kind of blending it up into the brow bone, kind of sweeping the color along the lid. And I'm just lightly applying pressure. It's not a whole bunch of pressure. And there we have a beautiful transition shade, and we're going to do that on the other side. And I should say that if you ever find yourself having difficulties creating your eyeshadow look, with your eyeshadow blending properly, a lot of times it is the tools that you're using. So if you just switch brushes, maybe try a new one, a lot of times that will help. So some brushes tend not to grab the eyeshadow as well as others. And I'm going back in with my fluffy brush, and I'm just going to get all those harsh lines out. The Makeup by Mario mattes are so blendable, but they are very pigmented. But when these lighter colors, you kind of have to pack them on there a little bit more. At least that's what I've noticed. They're blendable, they're buttery, they're wonderful colors. But in order to get that starkness, you kind of have to pack them on a little bit. We're going to go back in with the fluffy brush with no color. Okay. That looks really, really pretty. And now we're going to go in with that really light brown. We're just going to start kind of packing that on the corners, the crease, and a little bit on the under eye. So let's go ahead and start first by packing a little bit of that color. I'm going to use kind of a round fluffy brush. Sort of a round one. This is a Duke hair brush. It's a kind of a cheapie from Amazon. I'm gonna pick up a very little bit of that color, and I'm just going to start kind of creating my little V that I create. And I'm stippling it just a little bit because this brush it's very compact, and so it seems like it's really putting the color on. I'm gonna go back in with that fluffy brush with no product on it. And I'm just going to smooth that out. Now actually what I think I'm going to do is change brushes. Remember I told you sometimes you have to change brushes. Sometimes the brush, like here, this brush was so concentrated and the bristles were so finely packed that it really kind of put the color only on one part of my eye, as you can see. So I know immediately, right, that's too much concentration right there. And so I know now that, hey, I've got to go back in and kind of blend it out. So I'm going back in with that MOTD brush, and I'm making little circles to try to blend it a little bit to get rid of that like kind of harsh like pack of color that I got on there. And as you can see, that blends it out a little bit better. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a smaller brush that's a little bit fluffy. So this one is a little bit fluffier. It's a smaller brush. I don't remember what brand this is. I think this was sent to me like in my Ipsy bag or something. I'm going to take that same color, that kind of darker camel color, and I'm going to now take it on a fluffier brush and work it into that corner. Oops. And as you can see, it just blends so much easier. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side, just really kind of packing that color on there. Then I'm gonna take that same MOTD fluffy brush with no color on it, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that into the transition. And I accidentally dipped a little bit of my brush into the gray. So I'm thinking it has a little bit of a gray hue, and I apologize about that, but I don't know how to fix it without redoing the whole thing. So hopefully the dark will cover that. It's really easy, guys, because they're right next to each other. I put a little bit of that gray on accident. You can kind of tell, like, this is definitely warmer on this side. This definitely has a gray. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of my concealer, NYX concealer, and I'm gonna cover that up. And I'm gonna kind of go back in and fix it, because that gray, just, I cannot do. And as you can see, now we've got some more color on, and so I'm gonna blend out the harsh lines with my MOTD blending brush. Okay, so it looks like we've got a lot of that gray off, and we were able to kind of blend it together. And I'm gonna go back in with that camel transition color and just kind of add a little bit more depth to that. I accidentally got that gray on my, I dipped it into the gray, and I'm telling you guys, this is a very pigmented eyeshadow. Like I said, it blends really well. It's buttery, but there's a lot of pigment to it, especially the darker colors. So there we have that, and then we're gonna take that same kind of fluffy brush that we had before. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do the fluffy brush, because I'm going in, I want it to be a little bit more concentrated. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my like angled brush here. And this one is a B taupe brush. I just love it. I've had it for a while. So this color, that top color, so not the darkest color, but the second to darkest color, we're gonna pick up a little bit of that and make sure to tap off the excess. And we're gonna go in just on that corner. We get some color kind of packed on. Sweep it a little over the top and just make that nice little triangle shape. The one I love so much. And as we can see, that color is much darker. So it's kind of, it sticks out. And so we're gonna do the same on the other side, creating that triangle. And I like to follow the crease a little bit with the darker color. And then I'm gonna take my MOTD brush with nothing on it again. This has, and I'm gonna dip it just slightly into that camel color and tap off excess several times before I go in and blend it. Take it up right into the brow bone. And I'm going to do the other side the same. Put a little bit more of the camel on and make sure that I blend it into that dark. Okay. Now I want us to go in with that gold topper. So that's this color right here. And I always just use a clean finger, and I'm just going to tap that kind of on the center of the lid. And I'm going to take it a little bit into that brown, and then I'm going to take that brown shimmer shade And I'm just gonna press that kind of on the outside of the gold, just to give it some more transition. And I'm gonna blend those colors together with my finger. Do you see how that? I'm gonna take more of that gold and just press it in to the front. And I'm gonna do the same on the other side. I'm going to put the gold on kind of like the front and the middle part of the lid. And then I'm gonna take that dark brown, and that's this color right here. And I'm just gonna pack it right on the side of that. And then I'm gonna blend more of that gold right into it. Now let's finish the under eye portion. So now I'm gonna take kind of a really thick kind of little tiny tongue shaped brush here, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that camel color, and I'm just gonna sweep it kind of all along the bottom of my lash line. And I have to make weird faces because I'm older and my skin is like wrinkled. So I'm taking that a little low. I'm just kind of sweeping that color all along the bottom. And then I'm taking my MOTD, this is a smudge brush. As I'm doing this, I'm kind of going back and forth between the smudge brush. And I shouldn't say I have wrinkles, it's just my skin is a little looser. I'm older. I don't have those really tight under eyes I used to have. And I'm going to take the smudge brush again, and I just go under that lash line to really pull that color down. And I like to kind of go, for this look, I'm going a little lower than I normally would. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, and then I'm going to take my angled brush, and I'm going to go in with that dark color again, like the one that we used for the sides. And I'm just running it very lightly on the lash line to give some more depth. I'm not going all the way down like I was with that camel color. And I'm just going up to where my lashes end. And I'm taking a little bit of that glimmer, and I'm putting it right on the center. And I'm going to blend it out. And then I'm going to take just a tad bit of that gold back on that brush. I'm going to tap off the excess because it's really easy to get too much of this. And then I'm going to put it right on the inner corner, right underneath my eye. I'm going to take that more angled brush, put a little bit of that dark color on, and then I'm going to kind of sweep it along the side to give it some more depth. And I'm just going to take this, the very point of it, and I'm going to sweep it along right there at the beginning of that lower lash line as well to kind of shape the eye. And then I'm going to go in with my angled contour MOTD brush, and I'm just going to make little flicking motions to kind of blend it out up to the top of my brow bone on both sides. And this just gets that color up to my brow bone. And this is why, like, especially if you have hooded eyes, this is a great technique because it gives a little bit of lift. It gives that color, and it also goes up into your brow bone without looking, it kind of diffuses it into your brow bone. And I have hooded eyes, so I've always done this technique, and I feel like it works really well. That is just a gorgeous gold brown look. I'm also going to add a little highlighter in the inner corner with an angled brush. I'm going to take a little bit of white highlighter from my Ofra Glow palette, and I'm going to put it right in the center on that very, very inner corner. And I always like to flick a little on the outer edge, kind of going upward to just give it like some lift and a little bit more definition. And once we get our lashes on and everything, you won't even really see that. Okay, so there we have it. There's the finished look. It's a gorgeous eyeshadow look, and I will, let me go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. So here I am back, and I have the look finished. I've put on my little eyelashes. These are really not super expensive eyelashes. I got them on Amazon. I think I got like 10 for like $10. They're super cheap, but they're really pretty. I really, really like them. So I finished my eyelashes and then I powdered my face. And so there you have it. And I put a little lipstick on. So there you have it. There is the finished look. And this is a nice neutral look, and it's something that you can wear during the day. It's something that you can wear in the evening when you go out. It's just a beautiful gold brown eyeshadow look. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, stay tuned, and if you'd like me to do any eyeshadow looks, leave those in the comment box. I'm always willing to try new palettes, to try new looks, so tell me, what would you like to see next? And I'll see you next time on Glow Up with Shelly.